Shalom, everybody. Thank you for coming back to my. No. Shalom, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We have another Just Pearly Things video. Um, are men interested in modern women? The question that plagues us all. Even though we know the answer to that, let's check it out.
Kind of give you some perspective. Modern women find 80% of men as unattractive. And so on dating apps, which people will argue that maybe people on dating apps aren't looking for something serious, but that's the number one way people meet. Women only swipe right 5% of the time, up to 20% on the high end in certain studies. So women are all sleeping with the same guys. So for guys that are in that percentage, it's like they just have an abundance of girls throwing themselves at them. And then the women will come back later and say men are trash, da 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 da. But that's who
I think we need
picked.
to have a speed dating thing, me and you, girl.
I
We need to set up a speed dating or even a courting thing when we show them how to do it properly and give them questions to ask. You know, speed dating, but we provide the questions.
That's so crazy that Auntie Jenny just said that because back when I was, trying to be doing my own thing, like outside of thinking that I should be a wife and a mother, I was doing my own thing. I had like several businesses and I was just, really tapped into that world. And that was one of the things that I was doing. I was trying to make myself like a matchmaker. I had like a speed dating event where I came up with the questions. Like I was really trying to build upon, just people understanding how to be in relationships. Because like Pearl said, a lot of dating, the majority of dating is really happening on dating apps. Like I met my husband on a dating app. So I'm not saying that there isn't something that works, but because of how dating apps are, and then being so solely based on looks, I imagine for men and women it's hard to create real connections. So that's a good idea Auntie Jenny has. They have the platform to actually get that done at a good, like with a lot of people being able to be involved and it reaching a lot of people. So that's a very good idea because people need some help.
Look at you. We're helping me open wife school, right?
Yes,
We
yes,
turn
yes,
modern
yes.
women into
That's
wives.
what we need to try. We need to do it. We need
Auntie,
to do
they don't
it.
want to be saved.
No, they do. I think some do.
They don't, they
I
don't,
think.
they don't
Do you
want to
know
be
what,
saved.
right?
But
I
one
think they
more thing,
do.
but
I think they do.
oh my
They want
God.
to have their fun.
They juicy
No,
talk.
but stop it, Alex. Don't say that. Like, you know what
The
annoys
majority of
me
women
is
don't
that
wanna be
what you're
saved.
saying is right. I'm not saying that is wrong, but why does it always boil down to women?
Give them a chance.
No.
Like,
Okay.
no, don't
Okay.
say no because you see what Nathan said. I like you, Nathan, by the way.
I appreciate, girl.
But what made me feel like you're not scared? You're more like scared to be stuck in one because there's so many options out there. Because you keep dipping your cookie into the jars,
I'm
in
not
different jars of different sauces.
Thank you.
So
But here's the reason.
so I think, sorry, the reason why you don't want to commit, I feel like the way you explained it to me to one jar is because you're like, because you saw the other jar, you saw the other taste. You're like, it might taste
Earlier
great.
on, you said too many options. That's what you said earlier.
yeah,
Remember,
too many options.
Let me explain it to you. So women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore, so he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid, so he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her, right? And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kids. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like
you know,
men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
You know, for the sake of argument, and finally it's about my turn to,
Man, Pearl is such a level-headed, reality-based, emotionally intelligent woman. Like every point that she makes a lot of sense. So I'm not sure what this next sister is about to say, but Pearl just hit so many points. Like how is the benefit outweighing the cost for a man to be with a modern woman today? Even myself, just using myself as an example, I was a single mother. I didn't have successful relationships. I have a past. Like all of these, I'm not pure, I'm not a virgin. So it's like, what can I offer a man? This is where submission, respect, being able to be emotionally intelligent, not being delusional. This is where these things become your new value, because the things that men really value about a woman is something that a lot of us women no longer have. So now we have to start looking at these other qualities that men actually desire in a woman, since we can't give them what their nature is looking for, which is purity, no children, so they can be the first one to give you children, like all of those things. A lot of us don't have that anymore. And then not only that, we come with the bad attitudes. So it's a lot of you know, man, Pearl just hit it. It's just what it's a lot of just looking at the reality of what can we really offer the man to make him even want to wife us up as women.
Help the boys out. I'll tell you something. Boys, do you know the best way for you to deal with a modern woman? Be stush. Stush means be a bit more stuck up about yourself, because actually girls don't like rejection. And the moment you reject one, she wants you more because it's a challenge. At that moment, you've got the power. If you want her, you want to maneuver and check what she's on, and you want to get her in your books.
But okay, but
Yeah,
listen,
I'm not
listen
gonna
to
lie.
this from,
This
listen
kind
to
of
this listen to this from the men's point of view. So I have to play a bunch of games with these women in order to get to them to commit to me. Why do it at all?
because
Why is it worth it?
Yeah,
No.
it's like what is the benefit to the men? Like what genuinely? Who in here has a cookbook? Maybe you.
I
Maybe
don't need
you.
a cookbook.
What?
I
You
do.
don't
But
need a
Like,
cookbook.
but that's
have
what I'm
one, but I
saying.
don't
Like,
Are you
need it.
asking for cooking
As
cook?
a-
no,
from a male
my
perspective.
point is none of us in here can be considered traditional women. And back then, an average guy could get a traditional woman. And now what does he get? He gets a boss bitch, a boss babe, a girl that's been ran through. He gets an ex-hoe. He gets a born-again virgin. Like,
And what do
this
I
is,
get?
as women,
Yeah.
this is what do we get? We still get protection and provisioning.
Are you sure?
And
And men
the
forget
average
yeah.
the average
that they be
salary
looking for.
the average
Let's not.
I mean, okay,
let's do
but
yourself,
here's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
The average salary could cover an apartment. But the thing is, like, women, we want this lifestyle that's not even realistic nowadays. Like, we want men that make more than we do, and we want them to pay all of the bills. But it's like we all have our nails done. We get our hair dyed. We have makeup. We have all of this stuff that costs money because we want this lifestyle. And I've had girls come on my show, and I say, would you date an average guy for companionship? But you would have to go down in lifestyle. And they say, no, we're addicted to lifestyle.
Okay.
I would add from a male perspective, what I find, and I think that this is why most guys don't bother, and this is why I for me it's the biggest kind of consumer of my energy when it comes to dating in this whole game, is that all modern women want my time and attention in it. When I go to a club, there's 10 hot girls who think I'm going to get their number, talk to them for 3 months, take them out until they eventually decide to we can do this or that or whatever, and it's just non-stop, and they all think I have all the time in the world, and that they're all so special and interesting, and that they all deserve the red carpet treatment. And these women do nothing for me. They do absolutely nothing. They can't barely hold a conversation. They can't start a conversation. They got no date ideas. They don't even know how to be feminine. From they're saying they think wearing a tight skirt is feminine. Innit? You can stand around and guys will just throw themselves at you, which is kind of
Like,
that's why
Which
it's
is
not
what they
great.
do, and that's why I said move more
When is
stush.
the last time a girl planned a day for you?
Oh my God.
Planned a whole day, got you a thoughtful gift that had nothing to do with her, nothing she wanted.
I'm glad you asked that question. I don't remember the last time.
They don't do it, but they talk about equality a lot.
No, but you're generalizing. But you're generalizing a lot as
Like
well.
even if it was just a
Big
hookup
time.
that maybe liked you or got feelings or whatever, did any of them like try to compete for you?
These guys are making me feel so sad for them. Like, look, women, look. I bet you they're not the only ones. There's so many men out here, like, who are being neglected and abused and mistreated by quote unquote the modern woman. And it's really sad to see because it's making the men lose hope when in reality men need us. Men need us and we can have a lot, we can offer a lot to a man to be able to help him. And so it's like it's just sad to hear that men are, yeah, no woman has ever planned you a date. But also at the same time, I would wonder too if the men maybe need to reevaluate the kind of women that they're going after as well.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Because
No,
they're all queens,
completely
they're
no.
all
Because it's an
tens.
ego thing, because girls won't put aside their ego.
They're all 10
Okay,
out of
that's
10s, they're all
facts.
queens, they're all boss bitches.
No, she's got a point. For once,
Like-
I'll agree with her. She does have a point. Girls, do you know what? Stop being so annoying. If you want to see the guy, ask him, "Can I see you?" If you want to go on a date with him and you invite him, make sure that you did the invitation. Be polite, have manners, and you're the one that is the host. Therefore, you pattern the thing. Stop always waiting for the guy to make the first move.
I get the impression
But
that
it's not even. No.
No, that's a whole
No.
different
You can't turn
whole
around and say
different
that
thing.
the men want feminine women.
And then you
So
want to be
how
chased
can a
and
woman
be
go
taken
up to
out.
a man and say, "I'm gonna take you out"?
Yeah, that's not what they talking about. See, the date, planning the date and stuff, it seemed like to me would come like after a relationship has already been established. Like the initial, like going up, you don't go as a woman. It's not feminine to go up to a man. Men are by nature, like chasers, not in a way of like, oh, play with them, play games with them, but in a way of like they like to pursue. They like to know that they got you. So why would a man want to feel like he got? Don't walk up to a man and do nothing like that. Like every man has to start walking in his manhood and get that confidence to be able to approach the woman that he wants, to be able to initiate that interaction. As a woman, that shouldn't be left up to you. I know the world is kind of very imbalanced right now when it comes to gender roles and what men and women are supposed to do. So I know there's probably exceptions to this, but in like the majority rule cases, women should not be approached. A man should approach you. You should be giving off such a feminine energy where he isn't afraid to approach you, where he isn't like, oh, she's going to be mean to me, or she's going to be rude to me, or she's going to disrespect me if I approach her. Even if you don't like the guy, it's always a way to respectfully decline. I know there are exceptions. I'm talking about normal cases. But like, yeah, if you're giving off a good feminine energy, you know what I'm saying? Dressed modestly, not in tight clothing, you're gonna get approached very often by men. I'm telling you, that's the key.
Well, I'll say how.
you know something,
I
right?
think that you're an amazing guy. You are sick. I'm gonna shoot my
You know
shot.
something?
Would you
Girl,
want to go out
stop.
with me?
No,
please?
You
what I
sounded like
do-
a man.
what
That
I
sounded
do-
like a
Nah,
man.
nah.
You sound like
That's
a
what you're
man.
trying to get at.
What I
These
do.
days, they're very masculine these days.
Guys,
What
guys,
I-
is anti.
doggy
So
dog
devil's advocate here. I'm not. I wouldn't probably approach it like that. But like
Yeah.
back in the day, didn't women drop the handkerchief?
So they can pick it.
Eh.
But yeah, even something like dropping the handkerchief was a very feminine thing to do. That's not her walking up to them like, hey, let's go on a date. It's like I'm showing you, like even in Asia, I think it's China or somewhere, they would expose their wrist or whatever it was, like little dainty things that you would do, very feminine, just to let the man know that "Hey, it's okay to approach me. I'm interested in you too." See that's okay. Not the whole, hey, come on, let's go on a date. I like you, you look good. Let's go. That sound like a man.
Right. Women drop the handkerchief.
But that's
that's
you
what-
see the thing is right is that years ago you dropped a handkerchief and the man showed you was interested. You didn't drop your knickers, and that's the difference. Dropping a handkerchief is totally different from dropping your knickers. So you used to walk along in the old days. They used to drop you walk along and you drop a hanky just to see whether or not the man was interested.
Auntie, sorry.
But now the women are dropping their knickers to see whether the man's interested.
No, I don't think that's an issue. They're not dropping their knickers because like a third of men are virgins.
But they're dropping their knickers more than we drop hankies.
No, my
as many
Okay, I appreciate y'all sitting here with me to watch this. I really like the content that Just Burly Things puts out. If you all are interested in checking out more things from her, let me know in the comments. I'll do more reaction videos from her videos, or you can check out her channel at Just Pearly Things. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell so that you can get notified every time that I upload a new video. Do you think that men are interested in modern women, and why would they or wouldn't they be interested in modern women? Let's get the conversation started below. Shalom.